Alright, so I'm starting on the standard base code folder, and I'm just going to get rid of this because today we're going to be learning about something that you guys already know, and we're just expanding on it. And it's just about integers and outputs, alright? And so today's going to be about counters. So what's one way we can count? Well, I can make int a equals 1, and if I want to make it 2, I can initialize a new one. Int b equals 2, int c equals 3. Right, then I can system.out.println a and copy this and do it, 2 more times. I'm just gonna do this quickly because you guys know what I'm doing. So I'm printing ABC. So if I show this, it'll show 1, 2, and 3, right? Just as expected. So what's another way I can do this? I can use the same variable. So instead of having B and C, and I could change these all to A, and one way I can count between them is after I print them, I reinitialize A. So I'd say A equals 2 and A equals 3. If I save, I can run and get 1, 2, 3 again. And this is because Java runs top to bottom, and it'll print, reinitialize A, print, reinitialize A, and then print. Well, what's another way we can do this? Well, so far we've only been initializing variables with, direct values. But what if I want to manipulate my variable with another one? Or in this case, the same one, right? So instead of 2 and 3, what's another way I can do this? What am I actually doing? I'm just incrementing by 1, right? So I can get the previous A value and put A plus 1. Okay, I'm going to write this out for now, then I'll explain. Well, because we're setting a new value of A here, the old A, note how I say it old, because this A is referring to the top A, okay? So if I had an int B here and equal that to 10, I could put B here and I'd get 11, right? Because this B is pointing at the previous B. That's exactly what's happening here, except it looks a little confusing because I'm using A to reinitialize an A, right? So just know that this A is referring to this A up here, right? So now 1 plus 1 equals 2. So now A is set to 2. And let's say system.out.println 2. And then down here, we're reinitializing A. And we're going to say 2 plus 1 equals 3. So let's save, compile, and run. 1, 2, 3. So I hope you guys can see what's happening here. I don't want you guys getting confused between all these variables because they all look the same. But we're just incrementing 1 to the previous value. So that's pretty much the lesson today. It's just incrementing, and the reason why the lesson's so short is because I wanted to show you guys the lab a bit so you could spend more time on your lab, because the lab this time is a little more difficult than what you guys have been doing so far. So let's get there. So let's delete this and go to T21, notes, and scroll down. Alright. So the lab says write a program that moves a rectangle to the right each time the mouse is clicked. Repeat of a former lab. He tells you this here because he's hinting at which base code you should use. Right? And you guys have done a lab before where you've moved a rectangle by clicking it. I think it was lab 7, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, lab 7, translate rectangle with click. But this time he wants the rectangle motion to stop after 10 mouse clicks. Right, so let's grab the previous lab that we've already done and just add on to it. We don't need to rewrite all this code because we already have it. You guys should have the lab to lab 7 if you've done it, but I have to do it one more time because I don't have it with me. So I'm going to grab the graphics base code, and let's see what lab 7 says. Make your rectangle object move each time the mouse is clicked. Alright, perfect. So let's do that real quickly. And here I can say rectangle, my rect is new. Let's make it 100, 100, 100, 100. And then I can say my rect.draw. I'm not going to go over what I'm writing here because hopefully you guys have already done this. Then I can say, oops, I forgot to make this a global variable. And myrect.draw. Not myrect.translate. Let's have it move 20 each time. We're moving. So let's look at the lab real quickly, and we want the rectangle to move to the right, right? So whatever you guys did for lab 7, in some random direction it's moving, make sure it's moving to the right this time, because this is what this lab is asking for. Right, and because it's X and Y, I can say move to the right 20 and move up and down 0. Alright, so if I save this code and I compile and run, oops, I forgot static. And every time I click, the rectangle should move to the right. Right? So I have that down. So I finished lab 7 of what it was before, but now I need to do lab 10. Right? So you guys should already have this. Maybe your translate would be a little different because you didn't know it had to move to the right, but this should be your base code. This is what it should look like. Or, you know, you might have different values, but you guys get what I'm saying. So now grab your lab 7 lab, and now let's go to this lab. The rectangle motion should stop after 10 mouse clicks. Obviously I'm not going to do this lab for you guys, but the reason why I wrote it out is because we're combining our previous knowledge of if statements and today's of counters to be able to do this lab, right? And so using an if statement is my one hint to you, my first hint. And then my second hint is going to be a counter variable. All right, I'm going to have a static int counter up here. Okay, and you will need this counter because if we're using an if statement to have the rectangle motion to stop after 10 mouse clicks, you need something that's counting to 10, right? We learned how to increment today, and we learned how to make conditional statements yesterday with if. So I want you guys to spend your time on this lab and try figuring out how to use this global variable to do this lab. Good luck, guys.